For centuries, there was harmony. The Titans were the guardians of nature, and the great apes became the protectors of humanity. We've discovered a signal. She can feel it. Kong, Godzilla, they can feel it too. Something is coming. Something even they're afraid of.
It's Trinidad the Islandman, your Island Man, coming to you live from beautiful Hawaii here on the island of Oahu, bringing you, yes you, the best movie reviews on the entire island of Oahu. And yes, this is Trinidad the Island Man, your Island Man. And this weekend, opening weekend of the fantastic movie Godzilla, Kong, New Empire. I went in and I saw it. And remember our rating scale. Shock a thumbs up, it's good to see, I recommend it. Shock a thumbs down, it's junk, I don't recommend it. For Godzilla, Kong, New Empire, it is a shock a thumbs up. I was supposed to see this movie Thursday, opening day, but I wasn't feeling well, so I had to go ahead and wait till Sunday to see it. And boy, am I glad that I did not miss this movie. Is near perfect. It is wonderful how they set up the story. Pretty much a continuation after the events of Kong versus Godzilla, or Godzilla versus Kong. We see basically Kong is living his days out in the Hollow Earth area, they call it, while Godzilla still rules the surface area, being the king of the monsters after conquering Godzilla. But Kong has pretty much conquered the Hollow Earth area, which he now calls his home. Although he does visit the surface every once in a while in case he needs something or is concerned about something, and he has to relay that to Monarch. In addition to that, they have outposts in the Hollow Earth to monitor him and activities going on there, as it is a vast area still uncharted for the most part. We find Kong having adapted to his areas, this new world, basically laying traps, using his primate knowledge to lay traps for his enemies, other creatures. If they're outnumbering him, he can put them into like pits, snares, etc. Booby traps. Think of Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Predator. Comes to mind. And we see that Godzilla is still being the protector against rogue titans on the surface of the earth. And Monarch has pretty much been accepted as the government agency for watching and monitoring both of these, all of the titans, whether it be on Hollow Earth or up above on the surface on our planet Earth. But Kong soon discovers, as he's exploring, a new area. And you've seen this in the trailers where you see that little tiny, like a tiny Kong, a little monkey that he finds. So Kong finds that he is not alone. However, it soon turns out, from the trailers, I wasn't sure what was going to take place. Maybe this was an alien in guise of an ape. And then we saw, glowing eyes and a kind of a reptilian thing. So I was thinking that maybe this ape was an alien, actually shape-shifting between Kong and Godzilla, and maybe an amalgamation of the two to take on Godzilla and Kong, as they cannot defeat him alone. They have to team up, which is essentially what happens in this movie. And let me just say that they finally get the ratio right. We get to see the fights. We get to see all of the fights, fortunately. They stopped doing the stupid cutting away, and the focus on the children is very minimal in this and plays directly into the story. Doesn't feel forced like it did with silly Millie Bobby Brown, who fortunately does not return for this movie. Her role just never really made sense in the film. How they do this with Jaya from Kong, from Godzilla vs. Kong, the deaf girl that could sign language with King Kong and communicate with him, is how Monarch is getting through to Kong and vice versa. Basically, that's how the rapport has remained until this new threat arises, as you see in the trailer, that forces Godzilla and King Kong to work together. And let me just say that it is amazing how, Godzilla doesn't mess with Kong, and Kong doesn't mess with Godzilla. Leaving, as long as the two stay in their areas, the Hollow Earth for Kong and the surface area for Godzilla. But Kong, needing his help as the threat arises on Hollow Earth that threatens to come up to the surface world, Kong goes to the surface for Godzilla's help. And Godzilla's, hey man, what are you doing up here? I told you to stay down below, right? And he proceeds to wipe the floor with Kong. Kong's saying, no, wait, I need your help. Don't, And he's tackled by Godzilla and until, spoilers, Mothra comes to unite the two Titans, two monsters, Kong and Godzilla, against this common foe, which we find out is some rogue giant apes, similar but not exactly the same as King Kong. But we find that these apes are the ones that are responsible for basically massacring the rest of the Kongs and his species as well. And there is a hint, there's a little Easter egg to what these creatures are. As they're not, they look kind of like chimpanzees, kind of giant chimpanzees, but there's a hint by the black actor in this movie who plays Bernie. He's the podcaster from Godzilla versus King Kong. And what we see is that he's talking about in his podcast Godzilla and wrecking places. And this podcast brought to you by Gargantuan Insurance. And anybody who remembers anything from Godzilla, these Titans, or kaiju movies from the old 70s and such, there was a unrelated Titan movie, two giants, one green, one brown, called Gargantuans, and that was the title of the show, or the movie was Gargantuans. One was evil. I think it was the brown one was evil and the green one was good, or vice versa. I can't quite remember. But in this one, these evil apes, especially the leader, Scar, looks exactly or very similar to a gargantuan, the brown gargantuan. And he is very, very evil. And him and his army, along with his secret weapon, a Godzilla-like creature, is what takes down Kong and forces him to ask for Godzilla's help. And along with Mothra, he gets it, and they come back to put things right, or to help try to save the world. This is an amazing movie, absolutely fantastic. Shock a thumbs up all the way. Don't sleep on this. Go ahead and see it. It demands to be seen on the big screen. You don't want to wait to watch it on your little TV streaming. I saw it in standard, but still it was the big screen. And I enjoyed every minute, and I will go see it again in 3D 4DX just to get that shaky chair experience, which should be so awesome for this movie. Yeah, go ahead and check it out. It made $80 million, number one at the box office this weekend, which pretty much tops opening weekend of Dune. You know, and I believe this movie will have great legs as it hits towards families, comedy with Dan Stevens and the black actor playing Bernie have some fantastic rapport. There's a nice daughter-mother relationship that's built up between the scientist from versus Kong and Godzilla and Jaya, the deaf child, along with some fantastic kaiju Titan on Titan action that we haven't seen since Godzilla versus Kong, but there is so much more, so many more players, all these other army of giant apes, all these other monsters that Godzilla is facing, these other Titans, and that's even before, you know, the main battle between this quasi-Godzilla creature and this army of evil apes that he and King Kong and even Mothra has to defend the planet against. All right, so again, strong shaka thumbs up. Don't sleep on this. Don't wait. Go ahead and see it in theaters is the best way for Godzilla, Kong, New Empire, and it certainly is a new empire. I don't know where they're going to go after this movie. It does tie in a little bit to some of the Easter eggs that were dropped in the Apple TV show Monarch, but you don't need to have watched that. But it is helpful, as you can see where Monarch kind of went at the end of that show, getting, you know, kind of cybernetic and machines integrated into some of the giant kaiju. As you see, Kong has this kind of bionic cybernetic arm that it assists him, and you know, that's from his defeat from his initial meeting with this gargantuan evil ape that he must fight, and this Godzilla clone almost, and so he's injured and needs the humans to put that on him so that not only can he continue to fight, but he can fight much stronger. Basically becoming the $6 million ape, King Kong, with that cybernetic arm. As you know, his axe alone is not enough, that we'd seen in Godzilla versus Kong. So yes, strong shaka thumbs up. Go ahead and check it out. However, whenever you can, Godzilla, Kong, New Empire, go see it. Shaka thumbs up. Mahalo and aloha.